You are looking at years, what are we now on? 3 years of destruction here. These are all chips I've broken in my fingers. There are some chips that have been shot. You can see here's a coin inlay chip that's been shot. Here's a Monte Carlo that's been shot with a 22. Can you see the little 22 hole right here? Look at this, metal, 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 and what appears to be plastic. And that's what I want to talk about. What is a clay chip? This is something that's been discussed many times. I've discussed it before, but I'm beginning to, after all these, after these few years, beginning to kind of get to definitions here with some tweezers. Get to exactly what's going on here. So let's roll in some chips, just a whole bunch of chips, and let's just have a quick discussion about what's going on. For starters, for my terminology, and this is my own adopted terminology that I've started using just by the nature of the poker chip industry. Ceramics, we'll talk about those here in a minute. So I'm going to refer to classic poker chips. That's these right here, like these Atlantic Club hot stamps. Very lovely chips, by the way, highly recommended, very affordable considering how nice they feel. They're amazing. And Paulsons, I'm going to refer to these as mineral clays. The parent material of these chips are mineral based. And one way you can tell that is by taking a flame to it. Okay, how well do these things stay in the flame? Do you want to see that? Well, you're going to have to subscribe and wait for season 3. So these are predominantly minerals. And so you throw in, are they clays? That's beside the point. I'm going to call them mineral clays. So these mineral chips may have some plastic additives. They may have some adhesive. They may have whatever they use to bond this stuff together. Okay, that doesn't mean, they don't have to be 100% mineral, but they're predominantly mineral. And I suspect a very high percentage, if not very close to 100%, probably in the 90s. Okay, so I'm going to refer to those as mineral clays. Now, ceramics are pretty clear cut. Everybody knows they're really hard plastic. Could there be some clay in here? That's beside the point. Because they're so hard and so brittle, if you remember this Nevada Jack video, these Nevada Jacks actually broke the side of my blender. All right, so very durable composition right here. I'm just going to keep using that term ceramic. It's pretty clear what those are. Get some samples of ceramics, and they're pretty well established as their niche in the poker chip world. Now, the rest of these chips, oh dear, this is where it gets a little bit confusing. So you saw the innards of the Monte Carlo. It's predominantly metal with some polymer. The polymer, does that have clay in it? The point is that it may have clay in it, but that's not the parent material. So the clay would be an additive to the plastic, or the ABS. ABS is a form of plastic. So what we're looking at here is a predominantly metal slug ABS chip, and that's what I'm going to call these, a metal slug plastic chip, like the dice chips. That doesn't mean there's not clay in there. If they put some clay additives in there, sure, they may sell them as a clay chip, but I'm not going to refer to them as that, because that's not the parent material, and it's not predominantly a mineral clay. So those are going to be my terminology. That's my terminology. Here's some of these Roman times. These are actually one of the last awesome metal slugless chips out there. Again, these could have some clay content in there. I'm not saying they don't or they do, but I'm just going to refer to them as a polymer plastic chip because that's the parent material. Again, China clays are kind of a close, in between. How much clay is actually in these? It looks like they do use some sort of mineral as an additive, maybe even the base. So China clays are still up for some research. Be sure to stay tuned for season 3. But if you go back and you watch my Milanos video, I actually do light up a Milano and it burns like plastic. And so I suspect it is predominant. They are predominantly, or have high percentages, much higher than some of these other chips, of polymer content. And so that's where we are at today. Next Gen Pro Classic, very similar material, if not the same material as these Roman times from Discount Poker. All right, there we have it. That's the reason for making this video. Be sure to subscribe. It's free. You get free updates. You'll see when I get season 3 up and going. You'll see when these things take a flame, what it's like to burn chips. Not that there's any evidence that I would ever destroy mountains of chips. But hey, it's a tough job. Somebody's got to do it. My name is John Hobby. Thank you so much for watching. Check the description for links for Instagram and Patreon for some exclusive content, including behind the scenes.